leads the Dr. Vijay Kumar Datla Foundation's work in healthcare, education, and skilling. 12 years of turning corporate budgets into community outcomes. Please give it up for Mr. Krishna Chaitanya. And then we have Dr. Sujeet Ranjan, who has built a career connecting corporates, non-profits, and communities. Now CEO of United Way of Delhi. After Tata Trust and Care India, he is one of the development sector's most respected bridge builders. Please give it up for Dr. Ranjan. Over to you, Alokparna.
Thank you, Beba. And welcome to all of you. And thank you everyone for being here. So my first question would be, okay, so India mandates 2% of CSR, spending roughly about 33 to 35,000 crores through the system every year. Now from where each of you sits, do you think we are really solving real world problems fast enough?
I think from corporate point of view, yes, we are doing 100% as mandate, and sometimes we go beyond. So if we have a right collaboration, for example, government and a implementation partner and corporate together can achieve real impact in the society. So where I don't know about the numbers, so but the measure which corporate is doing in their respective area, the impact is real, in my point of view. Thank you.
Should I repeat with the sequence? Okay.
It's to all of you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Alokparna. I may have a little different view over here. My first question to audience here, that you may name any government program which has this amount of budget. Name any one of the program, anything. Jal Jeevan Mission, Namami Gange Mission, anything you want to name. Okay. Think about any government program. Say, for example, Namami Gange, the most celebrated program. What was the budgetary overlay out there? 20,000 crore over a period of 5 years. Here we are talking about 33,000 crore every year. If you multiply with 5 years, it will be almost 165,000 crore. Do you see the power of this money? I think we have underestimated the power of this money. Let me go back to Spider-Man. Sorry. Great power comes with great responsibilities. My question here would be to everyone who are at the decision making of this 33,000 crore money. Hands on heart, are we making the right thing responsibly in utilizing this? We are doing lots of things. Certain time very impulsive, certain times very transactional, very few times very strategic. I think the way CSR is evolving currently in India, it is evolving towards more strategic, more shared value, and it needs a deep understanding of science, policy, governance, controls, FNS, finance and accounting, and everything together. I mean, today we spent 15,000-20,000 to buy a mobile, and we do 2 days, 3 days of research. We do spend lakhs of rupees in CSR. We don't do any research today. I mean, historically, I think this has to change.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, like what I have seen in last 13 years, the CSR over the year evolved a very moved from philanthropic to the very strategic social investment, and that's the biggest achievement. Like CSR, lots of achievements we are having in last 13 years, and we have seen like how things have been changed, whether in the field of we just heard about water and sanitation, in the field of health, nutrition, lots of things. But still, I believe CSR has to go a long way, and lots of underlying causes, lots of basic needs, say for the gender, say for the unequal power relation at the community level, say for the inclusion kind of things. I think lots of things we have to develop. So it's a long way to go, but yes, I'm very happy that at least because I have seen how the philanthropic organizations like I was with Tata Trust, and I have seen that how the philanthropic has also moved towards the very impactful social investment.
Thank you, Dr. Ranjan. Now, if I may just ask about United Way. United Way works across different geographies, cities, chapters, and different causes. For an NGO, like many of us who are sitting here, who wants funding or partnership from you specifically, or other chapters but under United Way, what's the best way to get under your radar or get on your radar?
Okay, I think this is, though you have taken the name of United Way, but this is applicable for most of the organizations. For us, like United Way, it's a kind of chapter of the global United Way, and we all are guided by the rules, regulation, norms from the global as well as the India. And we understand that if any money is going, that's the public money. And if any contribution is going, how the contribution is going to be sustained, how the lasting change we can achieve from that, and how the accountability and transparency can be made. So if any opportunity, such opportunity is coming, because our mandate is, our mission is how we can change the life of the people by engaging both the community as well as the donor. And the local solution is very important, like listening to the people, how the community, those who are there for whom we are going to work, that's the very important thing. And mostly whenever we are going through any proposal, it's not like how the proposal has been written and how the proposal has been submitted. Rather, the most important, what exactly this innovative ideas is coming and how that is bring a change at community level. What is the lever is there to change the change at community level. So and at the same time, we all are exploring the possibilities, like engaging the other stakeholders. Like whenever we go, even for the health, we are trying to understand whether the health in isolation or health as a sector. So sector, how we can engage sector. We heard about the water and sanitation. We know that nutrition is very important for this sector. How the One Health, the animal care is also very important as part of the public health. So we are trying to bring the things in totality so that we can address the integrated, in an integrated mode, we can address the problem rather than going in isolation.
Thank you so much. You spoke about listening and you spoke about innovation. So my question to Samrat would be, you've spent 17 years helping companies across food and beverage, power, manufacturing, and real estate assess water risk. And after one of the most terrible heat waves the country has seen, and El Nino that we are seeing today, how serious are Indian corporates treating water as a business risk today, and how has that changed over your career?
Okay, it brings back to 2000 actually. I have been working in the water sector from 2000 onwards. So it's almost 25, 26 years, not 17 years. Yes, the discussion of water has changed tremendously over these last 2.5 decades. Initially, during my early days, so I used to work here in National Remote Sensing Agency, helping this Rajiv Gandhi drinking water mission, the entire remote sensing approach. I used to go every day in Balanagar. But yeah, so the focus at that point of time, government was how to improve the entire drinking water and the sanitation aspect of rural and urban sectors. In the corporate sector, water was not a predominant discussion point. I think around 2010, when the first time in UN the discussion of water became a human rights discussion, and also at the same time the entire discussion about water positive, net neutrality, the entire social right to use water. I mean, around the same time, the Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all those conflicts actually were cropping up. I think that is the turning point when the companies started thinking about water as a critical risk and the risk mitigation measures, okay? And at that point of time, the discussion point was how I can secure my water as a raw material, okay? What is my social right to use the water, and so on and so forth. Slowly, it then transformed into around 2017, 2018 to more discussion around integrated with the climate risk, because that's where all the climate risk related discussion was taking shape. The entire Paris COP discussion and the others discussion were coming into effect. So then it became a climate risk and resilience, and water is one of the part of that entire climate risk and resilience discussion. And it then integrated with all the ESG disclosures and other things. Approximately post-COVID, or around COVID and post-COVID, it became a more ecosystem discussion. So from a climate discussion, it became that, okay, water is an integral part of ecosystem, biodiversity, sustenance, the entire Montreal Protocol around reversing the nature by 2030. Then water became an important aspect of that entire conversation. And then the entire supply chain and its entire water sustainability is integrated into that discussion. So yeah, it sort of a transformed as per the need of various times. I think today, if you see in a corporate discussion, water is not just limited to the source sustainability, but it is far beyond. It is actually looking at, okay, what is my upgradient and downgradient materiality? Who are my key stakeholders? How I can reduce the stakeholder risk so that my risk is also mitigated. Yeah.
Yeah, that's glad to know. Now moving on to Krishna Chaitanya, Care on Wheels brings healthcare directly to communities that would otherwise have to travel far or skip altogether. So what's been the hardest part of making a program like that sustainable and not just a one-time initiative or a fancy initiative?
Coming to Care on Wheels program, setting up a medical unit is not a one-time medical camp kind of thing, is not much challenge for us. Here comes sustainability, means continuity, we call it as. If you have the right partner, right implementation partner, and if you build a trust in the community. So where the why we started Care on Wheels program, because a PHC, we are covering 42 villages right now, and we have done 60,000 plus consultations. So where this happened because of the trust in the community. One PHC is 11 kilometers distance from the each village. So where elderly are not going to the PHC because lack of transportation, so other reasons. Now we made the primary health care to their doorsteps. So now continuous, we cover one village in a month for 4 times, where the sustainable continuity is there. So now the trust, we have to build the trust in the community. So with the right partner and the measure, it's like we have more technology used, we have a data of, so if you have the right partner, and right technology in place, and if you build the trust in the community. So these made the success of our Care on Wheels program.
What brings that trust from the community?
It's a continuity where it's like, for example, if, that's I explained you, right? It's a we give the medicine for a week, and there is continuous follow-ups. So there is a measure which we are doing. So we are reducing their, for example, their frequent flu in a village. We reduced that. So that's an example where the continuity of the program. So not a one-time program. So then the trust has built in their villages.
All right. Thank you so much. Dr. Ranjan, back to you. I think just shifting the gears a bit. We're talking about the social stock exchange, which has come in a few years back. Now, is that gaining real momentum as a channel for CSR capital? And what would help more corporates and NGOs, since you deal with both sides of the parties, what would help them deal more in it?
So, first of all, this social stock exchange is I personally believe it's a wonderful opportunity for both corporate as well as the development organization, civil society organization, how to develop the very result-oriented proposals, understanding the very clear about the our target population, how the measurable impact can be tapped, and then influence to the corporate. And at the same time, the corporate, because the money is going from the corporate, so they have to also understand it very well. They want to understand about the how the accountability, how the transparency, how the money is going to bring a change in a very meaningful manner, and how some innovative ideas. So this is a wonderful thing, but based on my understanding, lots of awareness is very much needed among the corporate as well as among the civil society organizations, because the kind of momentum which we are expecting, that has not come yet, and lots of discussion is going on, and but I feel like if this will be a kind of treated as a platform where both of them will come together, and the monitored very closely, that will be monitored by the system, that will be good for the nation and good for the development sector. Because we know this fact very well. Now we have moved from the delivery mode in India development sector. We have moved from the delivery mode. We have moved from the charity. We are now trying to get the things done in a very time-bound manner, in a very with a measurable impact, with a very neat, I think, target population. It's not just this delivery. So, keeping in view of the change which we have seen in the development, I think social stock exchange can play a very important role, and we are looking forward, maybe in the coming months or years, they will be the very important platform for all of us.
All right, thank you. To Samrat, for a small NGO working on water or infrastructure resilience at the local level, what would make them stand out to a body like yours that works at a larger, more strategic scale?
Yeah, it's a difficult question because there is no single formula to answer this. But I think when we, being a fund mobilizer or a funder, that couple of critical things that we look when we get into MOU with an implementation partner. The first thing first is that whether there is a strategic alignment, whether it is big, small, research institute, NGO, CBO, doesn't matter. Whether there is a strategic alignment with our thematic priorities or what we are trying to achieve, the theory of change and the outcome. So until and unless there is this alignment exists between us, our theory of change and the outcome that we are looking for, and their theory of change and their outcome metrics. I don't think there is a match. That is point number one. Point number two is that once we once we cross that stage, we try to look at if any NGO or any organization, X, Y, Z, whatever, on that specific topic, what is their passion day to day, how they are behaving to that topic, what is their knowledge, is it just one time activity they are doing, or is it something which is in their DNA, okay? And what is their resource? That means whether they have done this work, what is their relationship with the community, are they able to bring that change or not, and so on and so forth. So until and unless these three things are fulfilled, again, we cannot get into a MOU. And I think the last and most important thing is that the entire trust building activity. So typically a relationship between a funder and a NGO is based on trust and partnership, you know. If that trust is not there, irrespective of they are a big NGO or a small NGO, it will never work out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do you want to add something? Okay. This is just a question to all of you because we are talking about strategic alignment, and I would not do justice to the animals that I serve, coming from an animal protection NGO myself, if I didn't bring this up, is that animal welfare rarely comes up in any conversations, right? And this is to you also, Krishna, Chaitanya, is that from what you've seen, why do you think there is a genuine gap or lack of interest for animal protection or animal welfare in corporate CSR portfolios?
Corporate have their own policy guidelines and all, right? So I work with the two corporates. Like I'm now currently working with BioE now, and before I used to work with Scient, where our like committee or more focus on their four major areas, where current lack of opportunities outside, now the gaps was slowly filling up. Maybe in future we may include this animal.
Because BioE uses animals for experimentation, yet they are not on the welfare. I mean, it can also give back, right?
Sure, yeah, that's the right point. Maybe currently the animal thing is gradually reduced also. So now we are into more injectables, more vaccine manufacturing. We conserve water. We are focusing on water now. So there are other areas where we corporates look into the animal in future coming days also.
Okay. Thank you. Any?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think in because I'm from a corporate side, I know how certain things actually navigate in the corporate discussion. There are three different stakeholders whom we have to convince every time for any strategic alignment. The first one is our board, and whatever board thinks is the God thinking, okay? So alignment with the board is very important. Second is the business heads, what they will get out of this, okay? So they have their own set of priorities. For them, the transactional CSR in and around the operations makes more sense because it gives them the social right to operate, right? And then third is what is the requirement at a community level, at a ground level, at a direct activity level, okay? And there, of course, both human and animals do play a very big role. While you are telling it as an animal, to me, it is an ecosystem. It is, I mean, that includes fish, that includes shrimp, that includes mangroves, that includes plantation, everything, okay? Now a lot of time at a board level or at a business level, these things never gets the priority because the legitimate impact to show it, it takes more than a year. Certain times it takes more than 3 years. And a corporate CSR cannot wait. They have to show every year, year after year, the impact on ground through their intervention. Now, there could be few brave champions in each organization who can promote those causes, take a stand, and people are taking. I mean, Sir mentioned about Tata Trust. Is doing fantastic work, or there are such organizations. But it is depending on who is taking that stand in that organization, who is that brave and pushing the agenda.
Thank you. And I think it's important, right? You spoke about theory of change, and change is long term. Yet CSR wants to do something in 1 year itself, and change does take time. So, Dr. Ranjan, I would like to ask you, because corporates, donors across different sectors ask NGOs about impact, 3 months sometimes, 3 years sometimes. So, what is your perspective on how both a United Way and NGOs can convince a donor about impact? What are the three big factors talking about impact that can convince somebody who's trying to do it in a span of short while?
I think this is this is a very burning question, and all of us are morning to evening talking the same thing. I think the three important which I want to see and I have learned. Like number one is important a very the measurable tools. The tool is very important. The second, the enabling or the guidelines, that is important. The third, that is the mindset. So the three things are coming in my mind after listening to you, and all those three, like if I'm saying the measuring tools, it's a kind of what is the measurement framework, what kind of framework I'm having, and how that is framework is tailor-made framework, which can develop in such a manner so that the donor as well as the NGOs or the civil society organizations can understand and can come up to that expectation with regard to technology, with regard to GIS, with regard to the their analyst. So all those things are part of that. And the second is the second I mentioned about the proper guidelines, because understanding is mostly like the two things are there. The beneficiaries for whom the project was made, achieved, the activity is done, so tick mark. Activity done, the output. So we hardly think beyond that. So if these two things that we have to reach 2,000 women, we reached, and these are the activities done. So we have to move from the financial report and financial utilization, rather how the processes, how the output, outcomes, impact, that measurement is very important. And we have seen since I was recently, you might have seen the National Family Health Survey data has come, and that data clearly says, I was going through and trying to analyze, because lots of efforts from many organizations have gone into the public health sector, and especially the nutrition. And you will be surprised to know that still, though there is a slight change in the needle, but still 32% children below 5 years are underweight in our country. So that means 1/3 children are underweight. Still 15% children up to 2 years, that's the 1,000 days. Everybody is talking first 1,000 days, but still 15% children are not getting the adequate food in their first 2 years. So, and even the breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding, has come down from 63 to 55%. So this is I was unable to understand lots of efforts from Poshan Abhiyan, lots of efforts from corporate, but still the data is showing a very different figure. So that's why I'm saying the mindset is important. Mindset has to change about the reporting. And apart from that, I would also like to say that the independent assessment is not a kind of it's a kind of not a just a mandatory requirement. Rather, it will talk lots of things. So whenever we go for any kind of project, we try to understand these three things: what kind of tools we are having, what kind of guidelines are there, and what kind of mindset at both level with the NGOs and the donor, so that we can analyze that whatever the money is going, well, it's not only the number, what kind of outcomes are we getting, and how that is going to go for a lasting change.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Just my last few questions. I think from a realistic timeline, just from all of you, each of you, in fact, just for NGOs and people who are newly or new professionals into NGOs, what is the timeline from the first meeting to money or the project actually starting? Because especially people who are fundraising now, fundraising is a very difficult and morally humbling task, job, right? It's a humbling job. So a realistic timeline from each of your companies and each of your experiences, so that we can set realistic expectations here.
Hello. For us, it hardly takes below 1 month. It's a timeline, because that it's aligned to our priority, the project, which is aligned to our priority, and there is a correct measurement with the NGO, right data of the need assessment. So where there's a particular need, our principle is simple. The need should be from the community itself. First, the community need to be prioritized. So when NGO is approaching us, so it hardly, because the compliance part, I'm an expert in execution of the program. So where there are other teams which take care of compliance and other areas. So if it is aligned to our project, our priority, so below 1 month is our take on NGO as an implementation partner.
Should I answer? Yeah, so it depends on whether it's a transactional or proximate initiative, or is it a strategic initiative. In case of proximate initiatives, it's anything between 1 to 2 months. I would say 2 months. Basically proximate in terms of which are very transactional in nature, just putting some infrastructure in and around the facilities and so on and so forth. But for strategic, it takes even 6 months to 8 months, because the first step is that who should be our strategic partner. That's the point number one. Point number two is the co-creation or co-designing the project and theory of change. That includes site visit, talking to community, even before spending a rupee money on that project. The third thing is that once the implementation partner submits the proposal, it goes through a sort of a negotiation process to mutually align on the values. Fourth is a board approval, critical, which is very critical. So fourth is a board approval. And fifth is then the due diligence process starts. And the moment due diligence process kicks in, there are many checks and balances that needs to be passed. So it's anything between 6 to 8 months.
I would like to add on, because we do follow a similar product. We do not, like if any NGO or any partner approached us, we ask them in mid of the year. We ask them, like we show them our, like we do share our data. It's like what activities, what initiatives we are doing. So we tell them to come with the complete data in the month of February. so that we have a next board, end of the board meeting will be in April, so that will be easy thing to us. That's how we work.
Thank you so much. Last question for each one of you. One word each. What's the one thing that an NGO or a partner in this room should do this week to actually get in front of an organization like yours? One thing that an NGO sitting here should do this week in preparation to get in front of a BE.
Okay. I request any NGO to visit our BE Skill Development Center, so which is in Bolaram. Not any NGO, any audience, any day from Monday to Saturday, 9 to 5 a.m. It's like please visit our skill center. So it's a I take 1 minute on this. It's like this is a perfect example of partnerships with the government. So government has given the space. So we renovated and executing the programs. So we run in a very structured way, institute kind of driven program. So we want to enhance different level of courses in coming years. So please do visit. For the next coming year, you come up with any course where the community need. So currently we are running vocational and industry aligned courses. Industry, we're directly working with LSSDC. So Life Sciences Skill Sectorial Council, we choose 2 courses. One is PMO, Production Mission Operator, and Microbiology, which is for the industry. And for example, for the vocational tailoring, beauty and wellness, retail, digital. So we have the opportunity for them, those who are training, we've been aligned to the companies before itself. It's like we have an industry tie-up for the tailoring. So we've been tied up with Oliva, Green Trends. After 3 months of training, they will be deployed there. So we want to come up with the new courses. So please visit our skill center so that you can meet me in 1 week.
Thank you so much.
Instead of one word, I would put 2 words, research and engage. Research about our activity, our strategic priorities. We are very open. Everything is either in the website, social media domains, and everywhere. So research us and then engage with us.
Thank you.
So one word for me, it's how the project is people-centered. And how the innovative ideas to mobilize and engage the people in such a manner so that the program will sustain, program will take it forward for a lasting change with the people, by the people, and for the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And with that, the panel ends. And I would like to thank each one of you for your time and for the years of experience that you have so aptly, summarized. So thank you for this. And I myself have learned a lot, and I'm sure the audience has. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.